know what it do, right? Can you believe it? I'm out the hood now, everybody wanna know what's going down. Can you believe it? I'm on my grind now, everybody wanna know what's going down. Can you believe it? I'm out the hood now, everybody wanna know what's going down. Can you believe it? I'm on my grind now, everybody wanna know what's going down.
Just out here, decided to pull over and make a quick video. Yeah, we go tear into ERROL Spence a little bit more, man, because when you sit back and you look at everything, you observe. Probably from the beginning of this dude's career, man, this dude's been protected. There's been like layers of protection for this cat, bro. People talk about Bud's competition, but then like when you really look at it, who has like ERROL Spence really fought? If they were to put it in those terms, we're gonna do it like that for everybody. If you're gonna say Bud didn't fight nobody, even though the people he fought had belts, we could do the same thing for ERROL Spence. The people he fought with belts, besides the Sean Porter, were really no match for him when you think about it. I mean, Kell Brook, he had a broken eye already. Triple G helped him usher in that other broken eye. And then you got Yordenis Ugas. To be honest, man, a lot of people was looking at that a little shaky, that fight, because Ugas was really giving him that work in the beginning of that fight. And then for some reason, he started just, he went into a whole different type of mode where he just said, okay, he just started closing up, shelling up. Okay, so a lot of people looking at that a little suspect, man. Yeah, I've seen the comments on some channels when that happened, but I'm gonna give him the win and say it was an honest scrap, you know what I mean? But Ugas ain't have no power, bro. Even though he damn near wobbled him, could have knocked him out if he really had to. He ain't got no power and he ain't got no dog, right? So then, if you really look at it, who has ERROL Spence really fought? What heavy lifting has he really done? You call Danny Garcia heavy lifting? So we gonna be fair about this shit. We gonna dish it out all across the board. If you gonna say Crawford's competition at welterweight was nothing, we can say the same thing for ERROL. At least Bud's, his competition was, a lot of them was undefeated fighters, bro. Besides Amir Khan, besides Kell Brook, and besides Sean Porter. And Porter's a guy y'all wanted him to fight, right? You say, yo, who has Bud fought with a name? He fought nobody with a name at welterweight. Then he fight Porter. That's when Porter all of a sudden magically he become washed up. All right, well, then what you want the guy to do, bro? But there's one thing I know that it seems to be, and everybody else see the same thing. ERROL Spence has been protected, bro. It looks like it from my vantage point. That's what it seemed like. He's been protected. Layers of protection. He has the major layer, the main layer of protection is his goddamn, well, put it like this. You got the feds. The aerosexuals is his first layer of protection. Yeah, that's his first layer of protection. And then after that, the sanctioning bodies is like, you said the sanctioning bodies is protecting him too. The IBF is it seems like that's one of the main ones that's protecting ERROL Spence. It's not, and him with boots, that's one example right there. How the hell is he allowed to not fight his mandatory for 4 years? If it was anybody else, it would have been a big deal. They probably would have stripped him by now, right? And the final layer of defense is Al Heyman. That's his major layer of defense. He's hiding behind these 3 walls of defense. The sexuals are gonna protect him at all costs, no matter what he does, right or wrong. When he got into that car crash, all they cared about was ERROL Spence being okay. They didn't care that he could have killed other people. It was just about ERROL Spence being okay. They didn't care about if he was fine, if he was alive, or if he hit anybody, if he damaged anybody's property. That didn't matter. The main focus was ERROL Spence being alive, even though he was drunk. Now, if he wasn't drinking and driving and he got into a car accident, then okay, I get it. But if you drinking, you're responsible for that. So whoever got hurt in the process, that's on him. He's responsible for that. Luckily, nobody was hurt. No real damage to property was the case, okay? So those are the 3 layers. Prove me wrong on that. The sexuals, they're going to always defend him no matter what he does. The sanctioned bodies look like they protect them, specifically the IBF, and they're supposed to be the stricter ones, right? But it doesn't seem like it. And then Al Heyman. He didn't make the fight with Bud. He made it hard for the fight to take place. He talking about nobody touching the fight, but then you don't want to make the fight. You don't have the money for the fight, but somebody's telling you they got the money for the fight. Why don't you look into that and see if they credible, right? If Bud is, Bud is offering 25 apiece. All right, bro, don't look into it. Bud should offer transparency to Al and ERROL, right? To see if, let me look into the 25 million. Let me see if this is a real thing. Let me talk to your people, bud. Let me see what's going on with that. Okay, it's official. Okay, we got this in the bank, 15 in the bank. Okay, let's get it, ERROL. Let's go. Green light. But Al still gets some money off the top. ERROL get paid, Bud get paid. And Bud people get paid. What was the problem with that? That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. That's the main level of protection is Al Heyman. There was no reason why this fight shouldn't have happened or why it should even still be a negotiation stage. Even if the fight wasn't going to happen in November, it should have already been lined up for next year, signed, sealed, and delivered. But like I said, we know why. The transparency thing, that kicked in after the fact. People say, well, Bud said he agreed to all terms, right? He agreed to all terms, and there was no guarantee he agreed to that. But the transparency part came later, after the fact of amnesia. Even if you agree to all terms, you still want your money, you still want everything to be straight with that bag. I could go to a job and say, well, the contract says I get $100,000, and then on the back end I get a $50,000 bonus every September as long as I work there. I can agree to it all I want. I ain't signing nothing until you show me where's that $50,000. Am I gonna get that bonus? Like, where's the bonus coming from, bro? And especially if they kind of like have it to the side of the contract, if it's not like jumbled in with the $100,000 a year, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look at that a little funny. Why did you separate the $50,000 bonus from my $100,000? Why is that all not together in one contract, or why is that separate, or why is that on a different kind of basis versus my $100,000 a year you telling me I'm gonna get? So when you look at it like that, Bud had every right to have the transparency, and Al Heyman didn't do that. The transparency thing did not come till after the fact of them having knowledge of an Aberdeen fight. How convenient, right? This is according to those sources over there. So if, like I said, the shoe was on the other foot, absolutely, Al Heyman and ERROL Spence have the right to know where that 25 is. Can I talk to the people that's offering the 25, bro? Like, if I'm going to ever walk on that side of the street, to the BLK side of the street, I want to talk to the people. I want to see exactly is at least 50% of that money going to be deposited so I can know this is a real thing. That is called transparency right there. Is it not? Okay, this is where this money, okay, coming from. Okay, got you. All right, let's go. Let's get this fight going. But Al Heyman is making it very difficult because he don't want his cash cow to lose those belts, and he don't want to lower ERROL Spence's stock. That's how I see it. That is why I said ERROL Spence has 3 layers of protection. It's always been like that since the beginning. Since this dude was touted as this monster that gave Mayweather a black eye, that is what spiraled ERROL Spence, I think. That's what made him almost like become a known name. Because who was he really fighting? You gotta think about it. Who was ERROL really fighting before it came out that he blacked Mayweather's eye? He wasn't really getting no real shine like that until you started hearing about that. So they had to figure out something like, how we gonna get this dude up here? How Mayweather and all of them probably had something to do with that. That's why Mayweather, think about it. If Mayweather is so, you know how Mayweather is with his fucking image, bro. If Mayweather's eye was really black, he wouldn't have had nothing to say to ERROL Spence no more. He probably would have been like, man, I ain't got nothing to say to you. You fucking trying to stain my image, man. You know, fuck you. But they didn't do that. You gotta understand, they all on the same side of the street. They could have concocted that story purposely. So that's why you don't really hear Errol Bud Mayweather talking about the black eye part. They don't talk about it. It's like he brush it to the side because they allow for Errol to say that to give him his props, to try to big him up more than what he really is, bro. I don't believe Errol gave Mayweather no goddamn black eye, bro. Not with his kind of defense. I don't believe that for 1 minute. I'll never believe that. You got to show me pictures. You got to show me some footage. Then I'll fucking believe it. Then they talk about he kicked Errol out of the gym, I heard, right? But all of a sudden, he kicked Errol out of the gym, but then he bigs Errol up on. You heard that audio he made. Errol, yeah, he's the truth. But you just kicked him out of the gym, though? Not adding up. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. This is your boy, Rebel Life Boxing. I'll get back to y'all later on the next one. Love y'all. Enjoy y'all day. And I'm out.